So they have to make their way kind of like down streets. Does that make sense? In between the ice flows, down through the Weddell Sea. And occasionally their boat will get kind of jammed between two pieces of ice and they'll just wait. One time they have to wait a whole week until the two pieces of ice break apart and they're able to just keep going. So it's pretty nerve-wracking going down through the Weddell Sea, but they've got to get to Antarctica. Well, they said one morning, I think it was late December, they made a wrong turn, thinking, oh, this will be a nice open lane, when these two big masses of ice closed down on them. And so Shackleton turns the engines off and he says, we're going to wait this one out. We're not going to try to, sometimes they try to push their way through, but he feels like the pressure on this is too much for the boat. So he says, we're going to wait. They wait a week, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then a month, and 2 months, and 3 months. They were supposed to be in Antarctica by now. They were supposed to be across. 4 months, 6 months. He orders everybody off the boat, and they watch their boat. This is Shackleton. There's a picture of Shackleton. He just looks tough, doesn't he? This is my favorite sweater. All right? Just looks mean. That's the boat. They said we were like a piece of toffee in a chocolate bar. We were getting encased in ice. And they slowly watch. He orders everybody off the boat. They did a full winter on the boat. They did a full 80 below, 4 months below deck winter. And he orders everybody off the boat, and they watch their boat collapse under the pressure of the ice. That guy's there. His name is Tom Worsley. Just can you hear him? I don't know about you, but this seems like a bit of a problem. I just don't think she's seaworthy anymore, Captain. And they lose the endurance. They loved her. They were grateful for all the endurance tried to do for them. Now, you have a small problem. You're in Antarctica. Well, you're not in Antarctica yet. You're floating on the ocean by Antarctica. You're on floating ice and you don't have a ship. Let's be honest. Sometimes we have to be realistic about our circumstances, right? What's your honest appraisal? What's your odds? You're going to die. Yeah, they wrote in their journals, it's just a matter of time before we all die. You're either going to freeze to death, the ice is going to break up under you, you're going to drown, you're going to starve to death. You just don't have very good circumstances. Shackleton, however, though he wrote in his journal that their circumstances looked dim, he said, if you'll trust me, I'll get you home. If you trust me, I'll get you home. Now that takes courage to say something like that, but if you only have one choice, the choice is easy, right? So he said, let's make camp. So they made camp. They called it Ocean Camp. Why? Because it's on the ocean. It's not on the land. They are on floating ice, hoping that it won't break underneath them. At one point, it does break underneath one of their tents. Man, in his sleeping bag, sound asleep, the ice breaks underneath him. He falls in. Now, you got about 45 seconds in this water before you get hypothermia and die. All right, it's not very long. Everyone turns and looks as his tent goes, blah, 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 right? It starts sinking. They said only one man, like a man possessed, came running over. You're going to fall in, right? You fall in, you're going to die. He slides to the very edge, somehow times it perfectly, slides to the very edge, stops, grabs man, tent, and bag, and throws it out of the water. They all look at Shackleton like he's insane. Get him dry, right? It says it took him 6 days to get dry.